Hello, Arizona educators. It's Tuesday evening, almost 7 o'clock, and I am here to give you a budget update. For those of you that I haven't had the chance to meet, my name is Marisol Garcia. I am the current Vice President of the Arizona Education Association, a proud Arizona educator, as well as a middle school social studies teacher out of the Isaac School District. I'm also a proud mom of a 16-year-old who is going to be a junior at North High School. I'm here tonight to talk about what's happening down at the Capitol in the Arizona budget. And it's not good news, y'all. I unfortunately am coming to you with bad news. Monday evening at about 5 p.m., draft budget was dropped. It was a budget that we consider a not great budget because it really does the bare minimum necessary to get the bare minimum necessary votes needed to pass a budget, which is not what budget should look like. We've been touting and screaming and yelling and emailing and calling for months that this is a great opportunity for Arizona legislators to invest in public schools. They are sitting on $5.8 billion. And so a couple months ago, we introduced what was called the educator's budget. We have it ready to go, and it lists priorities that we've been hearing from across the state, not just from educators, but from students, from parents, from community leaders, from business owners who realize that education is the number one priority in this state. It includes money for special education. It includes money for CTE programs, career and technical education programs we know that are so vital. It also includes programs that ensure that we can invest in smaller class sizes, counselors, and all the things that we have been wanting to do. We have this money available. And for years, since I started teaching here in Arizona in 2006, I started hearing over and over and over, we don't have money for that. We don't have money for that. Well, now we really wanted to push them to do this. So yesterday at 5 p.m., we started getting calls and texts from legislators saying, hey, they've got a budget. Unfortunately, does not have all the priorities that you have listed on there. So today, I'm going to say about 50 of us showed up. We made it clear that we were going to be watching and listening and hearing. And we were kind of, treated disrespectfully, which is unfortunately what we've come to expect from the Republican legislature. And they neglected to hear all the bills. And what we started to hear is that they lost one vote. I want you to understand this is one vote. They are running scared for one important reason. The main job of a legislature is to pass a budget. And they're given that assignment in our Constitution. It is one of the things that they're elected to do. They are sworn in January, and they know they have a deadline of June 30th. And I know a lot of you have those students that you lay it out for them. Here's what we need, and here's the due date. And a lot of these kids work really hard and work with their partners and work in small groups and get it done. You also have those students that wait to the very last minute, turn it in, and assume that they're going to get an A. And that's what the legislature is expecting. They're expecting to get an A for doing nothing over the last 6 months to ensure that we invest in what's important to Arizona working families. And secondly, they're expecting to get a pass because they've got one vote majorities in each one of the House and the Senate. So we went down there, held space. We got jerked around a little bit and not really told anything was going on until 3 o'clock. And so that's when we left home. And now we've got word that at this point, they are convening again at 10:30 a.m. in the Senate in Appropriations Committee. So we're going to ask you to join us. If you can't get there, text a friend and ask them to. You can sit there with a good book and wait. You can hear us fight for the budget that we know our students, our communities, our families, and we as educators deserve. I know that I'm not the only one that is getting calls from my colleagues and my friends saying that they're getting ready to pack up and leave the state because they cannot afford to live in this state under the current pay structure. Educators in this state have continued to rank 49th despite what they want to say that they've invested in these schools. We all know that states surrounding us have starting salaries at $50,000, $60,000. The cream on the top or the icing on the top or the cherry on the top, what's going to happen tomorrow, they are also going to entertain a full universal voucher bill. So this is what seems so disassociated from who's been elected in the legislature and what the voters actually care about. They've repeatedly said they're not interested in voters, and they have repeatedly said they want there to be competitive teacher salaries for the folks, the teachers, the crosswalk workers, the front office staff, the janitors, the security that work day in and day out with the most precious thing that is Arizona children. So we've asked them repeatedly to make funding and salaries a priority, or we're going to continue to bleed qualified educators as they leave to other states and can afford to live there. So I'm going to ask you tomorrow to join me at 10 a.m. in the Senate. If you can't get down there, then you're going to be watching online, commenting to your legislators, making them understand that they should not be working for donors, that they should not be working for political points, for polling data, or for their next job. They should be working for the people of Arizona, and the most important people of Arizona, the students who deserve qualified and veteran educators staying in their classrooms and not leaving to other states. So we'll see you tomorrow at 10. We'll be there. We've been all over the news, getting all kinds of media. If you can't get down there, get a friend down there. I'd love to chat with them, love to share their stories, love for them to meet with their legislators, and we will help there. Good evening, good night, everyone. Have a great evening.